At one point or another, you've probably scrolled through Modrinth or CurseForge looking for a new mod pack to play. Then you saw this mod pack and thought to yourself, hey, this one looks pretty cool. I want to try this. Then you install the mod pack, go to start a world, and then you're lost. You have zero clue how to get started, and the guidebook you have doesn't exactly give you a good idea of how to start. Well, this video will be your guide on how the level system works, what jobs you should prioritize, and how many other features work. Welcome to Zman's Guide to Playing the Aged Mod Pack. Alright guys, so we have spawned into our world here. To get things started, obviously this is a more realistic mod pack, so anybody that's familiar with RL Craft or any of those other hardcore realistic mod packs, this plays very similar to it. So, first things first you're going to want to do, let's go ahead and take a look at a couple of UIs. I want to take a look at the UI here. First things first, we want to take a look at our skills. You're going to start out with 2 skill points, and what I typically have done is I've put them into health and mining. Now, I think those are pretty important because obviously in a game that is pretty reliant on digging and gathering resources through caves or anything like that, it's kind of important that you have your mining skill up. Now, the higher your mining skill is, more blocks you will be able to actually gather, because if you do not meet a specific level for gathering minerals, for example here, this calcite, it's not mineable until level 2, and because I'm only level 1 right now, we are not able to gather this. Now obviously I don't have a pickaxe, but if you were to try to harvest it, it disappears. And then health is going to be very important because you only start out with 3 hearts. Now each level that you gain with health, you will get an extra 1 HP. We'll head back and take a look into this UI really quick. I'll try to be as quick as possible with it. With health, players start with 6 HP or 3 hearts, and each skill point increases health by 1 HP or a half heart. For each level that you upgrade into each skill, you will unlock certain things. Like level 3, you unlock the crafting table. Level 18 is Bejeweled Backpack, level 22, and so on and so forth until you reach level 30, where you then get the max ability for that skill. So for health, it's players gain 4.0 absorption when full HP or saturation. Then we go over into strength here. Player starts with 1.0 attack damage. Each skill point increases attack damage by 0.2 damage, and each level that you upgrade in, you unlock a new sword. Level 4, you get wood swords. Level 7, you get stone, so on and so forth. You get a couple new things along the way as well. You get wolf use, you get used to the grindstone, and some pretty cool stuff as well, like Sword of the Jungle Temple. And then at level 30, players gain 3% chance to deal double damage with melee weapons. Moving on to agility, player starts with 0.09 speed, and each skill point increases speed by 0.001 speed, and each skill point decreases fall damage by 1/4 heart of damage. Now, some of the notable things for unlockable skills: level 4, probably the earliest level that you can getting armor is the bone armor. Level 6, you get horse use, which is very, very convenient if you're going to be traveling long distances. Level 10, you get turtle armor, and then at level 30, you get elytra use, and players gain 10% chance to evade an enemy attack. Then you get to defense, where you unlock even more armor. Your player starts with 0.0 defense, and each skill point increases defense by 0.2. Once you unlock each level, you get more armor. Then at level 30, you get player gains 5% chance to reflect an enemy attack. With stamina, player starts with 1.1 exhaustion. Each skill point decreases exhaustion by 0.02, and each skill point increases regeneration by 0.05. At level 30 unlock, player gains 25% bonus on food value, but along the way you will need this for like level 10, the fishing rod or the loom use. Luck, players start with 0.0 luck, increases loot value in item tiers. Each skill point increases luck by 0.05, and each skill point increases the chance of crit damage by 0.01. Level up abilities like the brush used for archaeology table. Once you hit level 30, you get a 50% chance to survive instant death. Archery, you get the gist by this point. Now, skill points unlock a whole lot of stuff. At level 30, you get a 5% chance to deal double damage with ranged weapons. Trading, level 5, you get villager use. Then at level 30, you get reputation from villagers and can't lose it. Going on to smithing, each skill point increases luck, and at level 30, you get a 10% chance. This is kind of cut off here. Obviously, you can't fully see what it is. Then mining, this is probably one we should probably have started with. At level 4, you get the wood tools. At level 14, you get access to iron tools. Level 24 is when you get diamonds, and then the max skill, you get 50% TNT power increase. Farming is probably one of the more vital ones that you should be looking into when you're starting off in this mod pack. At level 4, you obviously get the wood axe and the wood hoe for growing your crops. But at level 14 here, you get the iron tools and you get iron bucket use. And then at level 30, you get a 20% chance to breed twins. So what that means is if you're breeding 2 cows together, there's a 20% chance to get 2 cows. And then alchemy is where you are going to want to look for enchanting, as well as brewing stand usage as well. Level 1, you get that at level 1, so that's pretty nice to have. At level 5, you get the enchanting table use, and then at max level, you get a 5% chance to get double potion effects. I would say probably the top 5 skills you want to be investing in the early stages of this game are going to be health, strength, trade, smithing, and farming. Mining skill, you can naturally throw a skill point here or there to get more blocks and get better tools along the way. The reason why I prioritize trading and farming and smithing over mining, because you're not going to be really going into the mines at the beginning. Now, hear me out with that. Say you're going into a deep, dark, scary cave, and you're sitting at 3.5 health, no armor, or any of the sorts. You're going to be getting either 1 or 2 shot by certain mobs, and that is no fun. I know way too much about that because, shameless plug really quick, if you guys want to see my playthrough of this mod pack at any point, I highly suggest you go ahead and check the links in the description below for the playlist. Next thing you will probably want to consider is temperature. We're going to want to keep yourself warmed up and everything like that. We do not have tree bark. You need a tree bark to light the campfires, and we do not have that, so it's going to get really cold really quick here at nighttime. In order to get tree bark, you need tools. We're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves here. So I went ahead and we got ourselves some wood, some rocks, and some flint. So with the rocks, you're going to take 2 of those and you're going to get the initial crafting table, which is this crafting rock. You guys can see right here, we aren't able to craft it because our health needs to be at level 3. So once you get the crafting rock, you can go ahead, place that down, and then we will make ourselves a couple sticks as well. We probably will need a little more flint. And then the way that this works is you're going to need your rocks, and you're just going to place down sticks and flint for whatever tool you need to make. And then you right click it, you get yourselves a pickaxe. Simple as that. Now, once you get yourselves established with tools, weapons, anything of the sorts like that, you can then move on to the jobs tab here. Now, after getting yourselves some tools, weapons, all that kind of stuff, you're going to head on over to the job tab here, and you have the choice from 8 different jobs. You have the lumberjack, miner, farmer, warrior, builder, smither, fisher, and brewer. Hear me out, guys. This might not sound like a very popular opinion when it comes to what kind of job you do. First and foremost, depending on whatever job you get, say like lumberjack, you chop down trees, you get XP from chopping down trees. You choose miner, you mine blocks or all that kind of stuff, you get XP from that. For warrior, killing mobs. Farming, you got to farm your crops. Building is kind of a unique one because you get an XP for each block that you place regardless of whatever kind of block it is. Smither, you mostly upgrade that from crafting tools. I've not been able to get XP from smelting ore, so I don't know why that's even in there, or if using the anvil also helps as well. Fishing, obviously catch fish. Brewer, you brew the potions and enchant items, and that's how you upgrade brewer job. The first job that you should take is the farmer job. Now you may be thinking to yourself, Zman, why the hell would I take the farming job? Isn't that just like one of the more tedious ways of getting XP? Yes, it is one of the more tedious jobs, but you are going to be able to find so many wild crops, and we're going to go show you an example right now. It took way longer to find these wild crops than I originally thought it was going to, mostly because of the biomes that we were in. As you can see here, if we go to job, we have 0 XP in the job right now, but just breaking these crops here, we will get a bunch of XP from these, especially in the early stage when you're trying to level up your skills. So just from those 6 or 7 crops here, we got 34 XP from that. Now, obviously, the more that you find, the more gathering you do. For each level that you level up in your job, you will get a chunk of XP granted to you. And then once you get enough XP, that's when this meter here for your skills goes up. Now, there are some exceptions to this that I have noticed, such as pumpkins, melons, sugarcane. Those kinds of crops do not work. I just want to give that quick disclaimer as well. Some crops may not work, but a majority of them I have noticed they do in fact work. Once we harvest enough crops, we will then get a skill point from that, and then we can determine where we want to go ahead and put those skills into. And you also may think to yourself, Zman, this seems really long and tedious, but I promise you, in the long run, when you're off exploring the world, you're going to come across stuff just like this. This structure here comes from the Dungeons and Taverns mod. So once you go ahead, get into this tavern here, you're going to go ahead and head upstairs to this specific chest right here. You're going to receive a couple different maps that will take you to different structures throughout the world. Now, a quick disclaimer though, if you right click on these maps, they don't work right now, which I think is a huge blunder and what might turn a lot of people off from playing this mod pack. Oh, this mod isn't compatible. The maps don't work or anything like that. I promise you, it's still worth it. Some of these structures are very rare, which makes these POIs quite important and significant because this is kind of a storyline that you're going to be able to follow while doing this mod pack. Obviously, just like regular Minecraft, your goal is to get to the end, beat the end dragon, all that kind of stuff. There are potentially a couple different storylines that you're going to be able to do in this mod pack. Hey everybody, quick update on the map issue that we were discussing earlier in the video. So once you find one of these taverns, I found a mangrove one for a fresh test. We take the Badlands in the Stray Fortress map, we hold it in our hand. If you hit F6, maps will actually work now. Now, I don't exactly know why or how that happens. As long as you hit F6 while holding one of the broken maps, it will work. Another UI we should probably take a look at here is the nutrients. This right here compiles all of your nutrients that you're intaking with each thing that you're eating. So if you're eating a lot more meat and stuff like that, you're going to be gaining a lot more carbs, protein, and stuff like that. If you're eating a lot more vegetables and whatnot, you may be getting a little bit more minerals, vitamins, carbs, stuff like that. But each one of these, if you get them to the right point, you will get some advantages. Like for carbs, you get attack speed and overall speed. With protein, you get attack damage and knockback. With fat, you get armor and knockback resistance. Vitamins, you get max health and regeneration, and minerals, you also get armor, toughness, and haste. Moving along now, if you take a look in the top left of your screen, you will see that it is currently day 1 of spring. There is the seasons mod in this mod pack. Certain crops will grow faster or slower during this time, and you can check to see what crops grow faster or don't even grow at all during the season. So if we hover over the carrots here, you can see carrots grow slower in the springtime. You hit left shift, you will see what seasons they grow faster in. So in the spring, they grow at 30% speed. In the summer is probably the fastest time to be growing your carrots at 150% speed, and fall is at normal rate of growth. And then in the winter, they just don't grow at all. So it is very important to keep in mind if you're going to be making your own farms for food, XP, for whatever reason, that is something to take into consideration. You're going to want to be able to find the right crops to grow in specific seasons to maximize your farming job skills for the XP for that and other things. But I do want to make a quick disclaimer, everybody. If you're not in agreement with how I am prioritizing jobs or my skills as well, please feel free to leave a comment as well. If you think there's a better, efficient way of leveling up your skills, leveling up your jobs, anything like that, I would love to hear you guys' thoughts and comments down below. All right, now we're going to be hopping into creative here to kind of go over some of the early stage items that will definitely help you moving along with progressing through the quote-unquote ages of this mod pack. Obviously, for iron buckets, you're not going to be able to obtain these until you get your farming skill up to level 14, but in the meantime, you're able to get wood buckets and clay buckets. Now, for a wood bucket, all you need is 3 stripped logs, and then you're able to get a single time use wooden bucket for water. And then with the clay bucket, you're actually going to be able to utilize water buckets more than once. But if you're going to use lava with these clay buckets, the buckets will break. So if you're already familiar with the early stage mod, then you probably already know about that. But for anybody that isn't, this will hopefully give you some clarification on how you move around water, and lava. So one of the major things in this mod pack you are going to be relying on quite a bit, especially for making flasks for water and any other miscellaneous items, you will need to make leather. Now, in order to make leather, because cows do not drop leather, they drop hide. So in order to get leather, you're going to need 2 pieces of hide and either alpine salt or sugar to get prepared hide. And then once you get prepared hide, you then take it over to some drying racks here, or wooden racks is specifically what they're called. Hang up the hide, and hanging up here takes about, I would want to say roughly about 3 to 5 minutes in game for the hide to be processed and turned into leather. All right, so getting into the backpacks here, you're going to want to start off with a baby backpack. It's just a chest and 4 pieces of leather surrounding that, and then you get the baby backpack, which unfortunately only gives you 3 slots, but you're going to be able to upgrade to a frayed backpack. So you're going to put the baby backpack in the middle, surround it with 4 more leather and 4 string, and you're going to be able to get an extra 9 slots of inventory space. Now you're going to be able to upgrade along the way as well to some better backpacks here, getting up to the plated backpack, which gives you an extra 18 slots of inventory space. To golden backpack, you get 27 slots, diamond 45, blazing backpack, which gives you 54, the withered backpack, which gives you 66, and then the best backpack in the game, the endless backpack, which gives you a whopping extra 90 slots of inventory space. So starting out early in game, you are provided 1 purified water bottle, and if you ask me, that's just not enough. So one of the first things you're going to want to make when it comes to upgrading your water and hydration is going to be making these flasks. Now it takes 5 leather in order to do that. So once you get the leather flask, you can then upgrade it so that you're able to have a better fill capacity. Starting at the regular ones, you get a fill capacity of 2, so which means you have 2 uses out of it, and then you can upgrade respectively using 4 ingots of either iron, gold, or diamonds to upgrade from 2 to 3 to 4 to 5. 3 uses, 4 uses, or 5 uses, and then at the most, you can get the netherite flask, which you will need to do in a blacksmith table, unfortunately. So this is kind of, obviously this is a little later game, but in order to do that, you will need a netherite upgrade, the diamond flask, and 1 piece of netherite ingot as well. And for early stage purified water, I highly suggest using the campfire cauldron, which you unlock with alchemy level 2. So what you're going to want to do is take 4 water bottles, and that puts you up at the max fill rate for these campfire cauldrons. Now it takes about 15 to 20 seconds for the water to fully purify, and you can listen for the bubbling sound. That means it is currently purifying the water. It's very subtle, but you can hear it bubbling. But once that stops bubbling, you can then take your leather flask and then refill it that way. Or you can take it over to a bamboo pump, which is a little bit later in game because you are required to have an iron bucket for that. But it does take 2 smooth stone slabs, an iron bucket, and 2 pieces of bamboo to make. All right, so we've hopped over into the nether here, and unfortunately we are not in an ideal biome or position for our portal. So we're gonna just go ahead and take a look around here. As you can see, the nether has obviously some structures in addition to the bastions and the fortresses as well, and there are some dungeons and taverns structures in here as well. Some maps you may find in the overworld will take you over into the nether as well. We do have a couple unique biomes here as well. We have Whistlecane. This comes from the Gardens of the Dead mod, so it introduces a couple unique biomes into the nether, and then you can find outposts like this sitting around in the nether as well, where you'll find piglins, piglin brutes, you'll find various different resources as well. And you can even find unique structures like this that may even phase into other biomes and whatnot. But some of these things have some pretty unique things as well. I think this must be some sort of barracks. I'm not entirely sure myself, but you can obviously find some pretty decent stuff like golden carrots, tools, banner patterns, all that good stuff. So when you eventually get to the later game, near the end game, you're ready to go to the end, fight the dragon, all that kind of stuff, you will be able to find the fortresses more than likely near the surface as well, which is a great big help, obviously, because in regular Minecraft, you don't get these specially generated strongholds 9 times out of 10. Extremely rare to be able to find this stuff like so. But these strongholds are now massive. It adds obviously a lot of challenge to how you're going to find the portal and everything like that. Mobs are going to be spawning left and right. Yeah, I still have yet to locate where the portal room is. Let's go ahead and try to find that. All right, guys. So as you can see here, in order to get to the end, you need to collect 12 different unique eyes throughout the world. The 12 eyes you will need to collect are the Old Eye, the Nether Eye, Cold Eye, Rogue Eye, Black Eye, Magical, Lost, Corrupted, Withered, Guardian, Witch, and Cursed Eyes. So, in order to get these 12 unique eyes, in order to activate the Nether portal, you're going to be able to find the Old Eye from a desert pyramid. The Nether Eye you will find in the Nether fortresses, and the Cold Eye you will find in igloos. Now the Rogue Eye, you find those in jungle pyramids. In the Black Eye, you find those in buried chests. The Magical Eye are dropped by evokers. The Lost Eye are found in mine shafts. The Corrupted Eye found in pillager outposts. The Wither Eye is dropped by the Wither. The Guardian Eye, you get it by killing an Elder Guardian. The Witch Eye, you craft it using a Witch Pupil. And then the Cursed Eye is found in Bastion treasure chests. And then once you get to the end, you will notice that it is very much different. This is because it comes from the End Remastered mod. Honestly, I've not explored the End Remastered mod a whole lot, so this looks very new to me. And it looks like once you actually get in, it then activates these things here. I can't think of what the word is. Well, holy crap, that was probably really loud. I apologize. And then the Ender Dragon is spawned. And then you obviously go about doing the End Dragon fight. The End Dragon fight has been changed up quite a bit. Obviously, you can see that there's different attacks that it does. There's a whole lot going on here. Obviously, I'm in creative, so other things you may not see until you actually take on the End Dragon. But I don't want to spoil too much for myself because I do, in fact, still need to do this in my own world. So this is where I'm going to go ahead and leave things here. All right, guys, that is going to do it for this guide today. Hopefully my helpful tips and tricks and my advice on how to progress through this mod pack was helpful for you guys. If it was, please make sure to leave a like. If there's something that I potentially missed in this mod pack that you guys would like to see me kind of review on in a later video or something like that, comment down below. Let me know what did I potentially miss that you guys would like more information on. If you want to see more guides and other aged mod pack content, consider subscribing as well. Like I said, my playthrough is linked in the description as well, so if you guys want to see how I've been faring in this journey of aged, check out the playlist. But that's going to do it for this video. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.